In the late 80s, Yamaha had a strong foothold in the sport ATV market, with the 200cc two-stroke Blaster, the 350cc two-stroke Banshee, and the 350 Warrior right in the sweet spot, with a 4-stroke engine, reverse, and the first four-wheeler with electric start. An impressive offering from a company that had sold the first four-wheeler in the U.S. just 3 years earlier, and the only company to continue to sell pure sport quads today. Those features helped the Yamaha 350 Warrior have an impressive 17-year production run, from 1987 to 2004. And it's basically the grandfather of the Raptor 700. Wild to think a person could walk in a Yamaha showroom in 2004 and walk out with keys to a brand new YFZ 450 and a new 350 Warrior. So even in 2004, admittedly the Warrior design was a bit long in the tooth, but it still has the basics that exist today if you want to have maximum fun on an ATV. It has a relatively light weight at 400 pounds, hydraulic disc brakes on the front and rear, and most importantly, a left lever that activates a clutch, not the rear brake. And that clutch works not 5, but 6 forward gears, which help the Warrior get to a claimed top speed of 63 miles an hour from the factory. When climbing aboard the Warrior, you immediately notice it feels small but roomy at the same time. It has decent ergonomics and a very natural riding position, considering it has higher handlebars compared to a more modern sport quad. Even with the clutch, this is a very well-behaved ATV. It still makes for an easy ride on the trail and a very forgiving machine that still offers a bit of sport and fun. First gear is nice and low and makes for easy starts and comfortable low-speed cruising, either on a trail or through a parking lot. No worries about chugging along trying to keep it running at just above idle. And you may think with the first gear this low, it's going to be like a glorified utility ATV with sport plastic. But hammer the throttle and you're rewarded with a nice bit of torque and acceleration. You even have enough power, surprisingly, to break the tires loose and power slide, even without having to pop the clutch. You can carry plenty enough speed to enjoy fast trail riding, and enough speed to get in trouble if you don't have much experience. Thankfully, the disc brakes do a great job of slowing and stopping this light little ATV. So make sure you teach that new rider how to use the brakes before you teach them how to use the clutch and throttle. The lightweight and sporty suspension setup make the Warrior feel very playful. Again, very much like a sport quad should. Drifts are easy, weight transfer is easy, and the quad is happy to hop over jumps. It does have a narrow front end, so don't get too crazy in the turns, but the slightly wider rear end helps balance things out. And you sit somewhat low on the quad, which helps keep down the center of gravity. And although they have not been made for 18 years, the Warriors had such a long production run and were popular enough that used ones can still easily be scooped up in good running condition for $2,000 or less. And don't worry about aftermarket support. Do a quick search on Amazon or eBay or any of the OEM parts houses and you'll find plenty of listings for just about every part on the quad. So overall, this is a fun little quad to trail ride on. It's not going to outrun any 450s, but it wasn't made to. It's a perfect ATV for any person just getting into riding, or a kid moving up who wants to learn how to ride a clutch on a bigger quad, or if you want to get into the ATV game, you don't need four-wheel drive or utility, and you want something more interesting and more fun to ride than your standard automatic small bore utility quad. Or maybe you're an ATV historian at heart and you want to appreciate how we got to the Raptor 700 and the YFZ 450. Even if you don't buy one, at least try to sneak a ride on your friends so that you can appreciate the lineage. Thanks Yamaha, and thanks 350 Warrior.